Welcome to LinkedIn Leads Mastery, the proven system to 2 to 5 actual sales with AI. And whether you want to scale your company, get out of debt, or help more clients, travel to amazing countries, make more money, and live the life you always knew you could create, you need the system. You need the knowledge, and you need a coach, somebody who truly cares for your results, because truth is, nobody succeeds alone. You joined today hoping to find something to help you. And there are a lot of other things you could be doing right now. And yet here you are. So thank you very much for joining. I want to recognize you for being here. It says a lot about you. You're willing to learn, you're willing to do something to make things better. So very well done for showing up. Amazing. Greg, Michaela, I love it that you have your cameras on because it makes it like more engaging than just me talking to myself. So if you can, that would be really great. Steven, Derek, welcome. Fernand, I'd love to hear where you're from. What is your business? My name is Shania. I'm a LinkedIn strategist, business coach, and author of Happiness is a Verb. These are some of my other books, but really my superpower is to grow B2B sales for companies with LinkedIn and AI. So we do have the chat open. It's not just for a few housekeeping. It's not for networking. It's not for promoting. It's not, for you to find clients here in my audience. If you need more clients, don't worry. Instead of promoting or networking, pay attention, and I'll show you what you can do to get your own event where you have 100 or 20, 30, 50, 100 people come and listen to the problem that you can solve for them. Hello, everybody from Belgium. Welcome. Oh, very variety of people from all over the world, which is great to see. And yes, definitely use the chat. I will, if there are questions, please feel free to share. We'll have Q&A at the end. But yeah, Mississippi, India, Las Cabos, bienvenido. Minnesota, MedTech startups, great. Strategic Nederland. Oh, Nederland, hello Arjan. Nederland is er ook, welkom. Poland, Bernard, great to see you, welcome. So now this webinar will be going fast, but it doesn't mean you shouldn't interact. You should. It doesn't mean you should ask questions. You should. And you won't get the idea in the first 10, 20 minutes. You won't. And I've noticed in doing this for quite a while that clever people recognize the gems. Those who don't get it tend to criticize. So there's a lot of little gems. And if you apply them, and people have taken one of the things that I've taught them and actually made money by using it. The truth is, you only find what you're looking for. So if you're looking for problems, you'll find problems. So if that's you, that's okay. Then maybe this is not for you. I don't have a problem with that. But if you look for gems that you can apply in your own business, you will find them. And if you're looking for things to complain about, you will find them too. The value from this training depends on your viewpoint. What will you look for? Because that's what you'll find. As I mentioned, I've had training, people that attend the training, they looked for the gems, found them, they applied and actually made sales. Just what they learned in the training, I'm going to share with you in the next 45, 50 minutes. And of course, it's important to know it's impossible to succeed if you can't persist. Nothing valuable comes easy in life. But if you stay on, if you actually participate and take action, the next hour might be your step on the path that you've been searching for. So quick practical things, a few agreements, participation. As you know, in life and in sports, you got to play to get paid. If you look at Wimbledon, any professional sport, the players get paid. People that are just sitting there in the audience, they pay to be a spectator. So I highly recommend engage. If you ask questions, engage in the chat. If you have questions, you can I'll open them at the end. If you don't understand, please ask. It depends on where we are, if I'll answer your question right now, or you may ask them again in the end. If you don't understand, I went over that, I did that. And as I mentioned, this is not a networking event for you to promote your business. Obviously, when you participate, others will learn about you, which can generate new business if you share and engage. But this is not for you to share your LinkedIn link and ask people to connect during the training, because we don't want to disrupt others. Is that okay? Do we have an agreement, either by show of hands or a yes in the chat? Thank you, Michaela, Dick, Bernard, I saw you, great. And as I mentioned, if you can keep your camera on, Rodney, I'll see you, Greg. That would be great. Yes, thank you, Bryce, Mike, and great participation. It really helps if you're participating. It makes a big difference, I've noticed. How many of you feel that you are the best kept secret? Who feels that way? Either in the chat or by show of hands, that you say, yes, actually, I have so much great value to offer. If only more people would know about me, I could easily double my sales. And you'd be able to help more companies, more people. Anybody feels that, yeah, that's definitely the case. Okay. Iris, I understand, no problem. Anybody could say, yes, I definitely feel if I would be better known, more people would buy from me and could benefit from what I have to offer. And I was in your shoes. I know what it's like. And for some people, that income can be like a roller coaster, where some months are good and other months you don't know where the money is coming from, especially if you just rely on, for example, on referrals or personal networking. It can go up and down, and it can be quite stressful and create anxiety. And it's not only small companies. I've seen bigger companies that don't really have a good system in place. And this has been a game changer for many. How many of you can relate to these challenges? Inconsistent lead flow, poor quality leads, rising acquisition cost. So maybe you're doing ads and the ads are getting more expensive and you're actually not generating more sales from it. Lack of nurturing in the conversion process, and difficulty standing out. Which one of you can relate, Tony thinks? 5 out of 5, Greg. That's honest. That was my next question. Which number can you relate to? 1 and 5, inconsistent lead flow. Difficulty standing out, 3 and 5, okay. Two, inconsistent, all of them, yes. And it makes it very challenging to grow and to progress. And 1 and 5, okay, that's interesting. 1 and 4, so definitely inconsistent lead flow seems to be the biggest. And if I look this way, by the way, I have the chat here, so that's where I can see who's on. 1, inconsistent progress, yeah. 1, 3, and 5. Okay. Thanks, Shyam. That's good. Good to know, just also to get an idea where you are. Why you should stay till the end? Today's online training is like a crash course in LinkedIn marketing. I'll show you the costly mistakes that make lead generation fail and the hidden LinkedIn lead generation system that generates quality leads consistently. That's really is key. The proven formula to scale your lead generation to expand. Do you agree that companies who know how to market make a lot of money? I would say, yeah, for sure. If you know how to market, that is a valuable skill. And like the big players, they're very well known, regardless of where you are in the world. I saw people from India, Netherlands, Poland. We all know companies like Nike, Disney, and of course, Apple. And if we are a client, we love them, and so we continue to buy from them. And that is really what marketing is about. You need an ever-growing number of people to know about you, fall in love with your company, your product, your services, refer new people, and continue to buy from you. The purpose of marketing, and this is really important to understand, is to create want, establish relationships, and sell something, creating future income. So just keeping this in mind, whether you post content or you send connection requests or whatever you do, the purpose is to create want, establish relationships, and sell something, because this will determine your future income. And in today's session, we will go in how you can do that specifically with my LinkedIn lead system that moves companies like yours from the shadow into the state. And oh no, that's good. From the shadows to the spotlight, yeah. So as I mentioned, creating content, posting, sending connection requests, growing your following, building your brand, it's all great. The question is, does it generate leads and bring sales? Most companies, and I've talked to quite a lot, they're losing out on a lot of money because they don't understand this missing link. The missing link on how to turn LinkedIn connections into sales conversations. Now, the good news, you're here, and I'm going to share with you my unique system that leverages a LinkedIn feature that very few companies know how to use successfully. Now, can you relate to this? You have a LinkedIn profile, but it's really not compelling. It's it's not generating new business. You have maybe, you have maybe a few thousand connections, but you actually have no idea how to monetize them. And you don't really have a system. Anybody can relate to this. Would you agree that it's much more efficient to have a system than having to do it manually? I mean, if you have 3,000 connections, where are you going to find the time to reach out to each one of them, to track and find out who's interested? Yes, 5,000 connections, Stephen. You're sitting on a gold mine. LinkedIn really is your opportunity. They're almost 1 billion members. The question is, how are they going to find you? To generate leads consistently and more sales, you need lead generation systems. And today I'll show you the proven LinkedIn lead generation system that I developed and fine-tuned using the little known LinkedIn feature I mentioned. And now really is a great opportunity. LinkedIn is growing and is more transitioning into a business platform than just like what it used to be originally to find a job or for people who want to take the next step in a career. The good news is you're here. Now we're talking just Stephen. How many connections? We just go on back. Do you have? Okay, Ira, 7,000 and no leads. Doesn't make sense. Totally. How many connections do you have? 11,000 says Ricardo. And 5,000 Stephen. We saw him. How many connections do you have, Greg? Elizabeth, I see Dick. 5,000. Okay, wow. Mike, 8,000, 2,500. 7,000, okay. Definitely, most of you have around 1,000, several thousand, 8,000, David, that's amazing. Now let's take Greg with these 5,000 connections. 5,219, Vivek, that's amazing. 9,000, incredible. How much gold is hiding in your LinkedIn network right now? Let's say you do have the 5,000 connections like Greg. Now, statistically, Greg, that means if you have a pretty good network, there are probably 200 to 500 of your first degree connections could buy from you with more education, more engagement, if they actually understand what you do, or maybe refer you somebody. And about 50 to 150 are probably looking for the answer to the problem you solve right now. Now, let's take this Madame's number. Let's take 50 of those leads. You educate them, you engage with them, and let's say you just close 10%. 5 new clients, if you have a product or a service that sells for $10,000, that could be $50,000 sitting in your network right now. And that's Greg. I know you had 11,000, so just imagine, for you it could be double. And again, depending, because some clients, they have a recurring, so they have like $1,000 a month, and clients stay on average for 2-3 years. So then the value of the lifetime value of the client is much higher. So just gives you an idea about what's possible. And so this little known, super powerful feature that most people are missing will give you the cutting edge. Now, while most people, they're busy posting content, and you may be doing that well, I think it's great. I'm definitely a proponent of that. Sending messages, but it needs to bring results. If you're trying too hard to pressure people into booking calls, you're not doing it right. Smart business owners are using this strategy, and they are generating big money with small audiences, no budget, no ad budget, and no complex stack. Like last month, for example, Bijal, one of our clients, he generated 203 good quality leads. He booked 14 sales calls in 1 hour using the exact system I'm going to break down for you today. So what is this little known hidden LinkedIn feature that's worth gold? Might flip this a little bit backwards. Is the LinkedIn, sorry guys, I'm just gonna right click. It's the LinkedIn event webinar system. Hosting an event is one of the best ways to build credibility. Having webinars is still a great way for people to get to feel an understanding about what it is, what you do, what you offer, and to get to know you. By bringing value, you help leads understand who you are, how you can help, and they get the experience for themselves that you know what you're talking about. And the easiest way to get started is with LinkedIn events. Once you get people on a call with you, they book a sales call, the conversation is much better because you have warmer prospects. Now, how is it designed? My slides here were a little bit, no, okay, they should show up one at a time, but okay. Phase 1 is the foundation. The first thing you need to do is you need to make sure you have a good marketing message. So it's clear for people what you do, what you offer, and then use that to optimize your profile. So your profile is optimized for conversion. You can see here, I'll go a little bit more in deep depth later, the profile protecting law firms. So if you're a law firm, it immediately can get your attention specifically for what he does. So the first step is making sure that you have the foundation in place. A strong LinkedIn profile is the first step. People need to understand who you are, what you do. The second step is the targeting. Your connections matter. You must be connected to your future ideal clients, people who are interested in what you offer and who could potentially buy from you. And at the same time, if you don't have that network yet, because some people have thousands, I saw others that maybe have 1,000, few hundred people, it's not a problem. In both cases, you want to continuously expand your network with the right people and ideally get them on your calendar. In today's world, it's really getting harder to get attention. The market is becoming more saturated, and just sending random direct messages doesn't work anymore the way it used to be. It's how years ago I did start on LinkedIn, just sending messages, and I did get clients, but it's very time consuming. And you can see that more people are using that strategy, so it becomes more challenging. So here, what you want to do is make sure that you target the right people, combined obviously with the profile. So if you send connection request, that they can see, okay, this sounds interesting, and they're more likely to accept your connection request. We must do something differently to stand out, to increase our credibility, increase our visibility, and expand our reach and reputation. And that's where LinkedIn events come in. They allow us to warm up our audience and start building that relationship. And that's phase 3 in the system, your event setup. So you have yours, we mentioned the foundation, you have a strong profile, optimized for conversion, you have a good offer, obviously that plays a big role, that you solve a problem that people have or want to solve. And then you need an effective LinkedIn event title to attract the right prospects. Those two are real things, are really vital to hosting successful events. A strong profile, optimized, and a very good event title. Now there's several other components. I mean, to building out the real machine, there's a lot of little things that you need to have in place to make it work, and you can improve and optimize, but those two things are vital. Then of course in phase 4, the sales conversion. So once you have your event set up, you start filling it, getting invitations out, but when people register, your job is not done. If they're registered, it doesn't mean they will attend. Now, fortunately, you're here, so I'm glad that you didn't only register, but you actually show up. But what we want to make sure is that you nurture the leads before the event and after the event to maximize the number of sales calls booked. And so here you can see what Nurik, it's a little bit small, but you can see that he's booked 21 sales calls from one event for that week. So that was very cool. But you need to continue to nurture those leads. And we have an AI automation system we use for that. And one time it was actually very funny because of the time difference. Usually in the evenings, I have my phone on silent, but I happened to see it vibrating, and I don't offer, it was the business line ringing. So I don't offer calls late at night either, but for some reason this time I decided to answer. It was just after my event, and I'm really glad I did. It was a consultant from California, and he had attended the event like you were here today. And you know, there's a link, Carol put it in the chat for you if you wanted to apply to work with us. And he checked my link, and I had nothing available for the next week. I was already booked out. He was just too late to get on the calendar. But he really, after attending, he was so excited. He didn't want to wait. He knew he needed the system, and he wanted to make sales. And yes, he knew he needed the system so he could grow his sales. And he was ready to join. Turned out that he called me and said, hey, can you fit me in? So I added him besides my standard calendar hours. He joined. He's turned out to be an amazing client. And the interesting note is he told me afterwards that he was actually interviewing different LinkedIn companies. My program was the most expensive, yet he knew that the results were more important than the investment. And the event, being at the webinar, seeing how I approach things, seeing how I apply things, made a big difference in his decision to buy from me and not from one of my competitors. So how many of you see the value in having a system like this? where you leverage the feature that LinkedIn offers and then build and expand on it. I'm just checking the trend. Makes up a good event. There's quite a different components, Imogen, but a good event title is the first to get people to register. As value, I see the value not very strange. Of course, I value it so much. Thank you, Bernard. Yeah, it's an opportunity to use the power of LinkedIn's platform and LinkedIn's network that they've building for many years to fill your calendar with great prospects, especially if you work B2B or if you work B2C, but you have a higher end. So if you do executive coaching or weight loss, but you have higher end programs for a performance or anything that's B2B or B2C, but high end. Now, if you know you're ready, you can apply to work with us. The link is in the chat. I saw Kara adding it earlier. She'll add it again if you want to book a call. And as I said, be quick before it fills up. But I came up with the last minute idea when I was preparing. So it's really last minute because I realized that it's really tough. And I've done events before and there's a few people that book a call, but there's a lot of people that could benefit. Like I see a lot of people say it would be of great value. So I was wondering if I would offer like a special session, like a masterclass coaching to actually set up your LinkedIn event successfully. Who would like to join? Would anybody be interested? Dick, okay, great. Anybody else? Michaela? Okay, cool. And you can just also say yes in the chat. Sounds good, depends on the price. Yes, usually a masterclass is around $297, $300, which is easy to make that back in sales and more if you actually apply. If you can't make $300, then this Pro LinkedIn is not the right platform for you. It really is for higher end B2B or something that's continuous. So, okay, thank you for sharing. Sean, I will let you know. Like I said, normally the masterclass is around $300, which really, if you get 2 or 3 clients or even 1 client, it should pay back. Plus, you still have the system. Now, phase 1, we're going a little bit more in depth, okay? Conversion optimized profile. Now, here is an example, and you'll see this a lot. I don't hope your profile looks like this, where people have their job title under their name. Owner, United Country Real Estate, and then it says a better way to buy and sell real estate. Now, you can see it's about her, it's what a lot of people have, but it doesn't really communicate. And your profile is really the first step in crafting a LinkedIn marketing campaign that brings results. Now, here you can see that she's actually not a realtor or a broker. She helps realtors increase their revenue and market share with auction marketing. So what she does is very unique. She generates more revenue for realtors. So you can see with the first profile, if she sends connection requests to realtors, she looks like a competitor. So they're not really interested. Where if they want to generate more revenue, don't know about auction marketing, want to find out more, she would be an interesting connection. And she had a lot of people sign up for her event. So if you get your profile done right, it will make a huge difference. Like Erica, she worked with me, we just rewrote her profile. So it became very clear why you should talk to her. And just after optimizing her profile, she booked her first 5 sales meetings just within a week. So that was amazing. She'd been active on LinkedIn, like she was messaging, connecting, but never actually booked calls. This was the first time she booked calls when she was clear and she was able to clearly communicate to others what was the value that she could bring, what was the problem that she would solve for people. Here is another example. You saw Adrian before. This is what his profile looked like when he met me. A business technology advisor, like you don't really know, like what do you need to do with him? Why would you connect with him? Where we updated it, he decided to focus on law firms, keeping your law firm and clients safe from data breaches, hackers, and viruses. Save time and stress with our tailored IT support and cybersecurity solutions. So if you're a law firm or not, if you need IT support, he could be a great connection. And if you do have a law firm, obviously, cybersecurity is very important because it could touch anything. And then aligning that with your LinkedIn event. This was his LinkedIn event, Cybersecurity, Shield Your Company Against Cyber Threats in 2024. Phase number 2 is the targeting. Now here you can use Sales Navigator. Just understand, Sales Navigator is a great tool. It's very valuable, but it's just part of the machine. I've had a lot of people say, well, I'm spending $100 on or more, depending on where you are in the world. It's somewhere between $70 and $120 per month. and then not really ending getting the results. No, because it's part of the system. You need it for the targeting. In this case, Colorado attorney lawyers, 3 to 5 years, so you can say what kind of experience they have, how many years, and then you want these 8,500 people, you want to send them a connection request, you want them invite them to your event, but you need to still take the action. Just having Sales Navigator is not enough. You still need to make sure you get the messaging, you get the communication out, and let people know how you can help. Another great tool we use is Apollo.io, where you can search by job titles, experience, location, and then from there decide, okay, who do I specifically want to target and build relationships with, to build your network and to grow. We use a great tool, which is a network growth hack that allows you to send many more connection requests. LinkedIn on standard allows you about 100 per week. Now, if you have a big network, if you get a good acceptance rate, it will actually give you more. And with this tool, you can send up to 300 connection requests per week. So that's 3 times more than the standard. And you can see we can, in this case, measure, this was the first degree, how many people replied. So we can test, is our campaign successful? In this case, this was the connector campaign. So sending connection requests to CFOs with an acceptance rate of 24.7. Standard average is around 15. So anything about 15 is good, 24 and 28% is really good. And we got very good results from those campaigns. So that's the other thing. Once you send out messaging, you want to also be able to measure so you can see, is it working, is it not working? And if you do, like I'm sure that I'm not the only one, we all get messages that you feel like, oh, it feels like spam. Here you can see if you do send LinkedIn messages, any LinkedIn campaign, keep your messages shorter. This was a test that are result survey from LinkedIn itself, but relates to in-mails. In-mails are messages you can send if you have Sales Navigator that you can send to other people that you're not connected to. And you can see how the number goes down the moment that the message gets longer. So 0 to 400 characters has 22% higher response rate. 401, you can see it drops significantly to plus 3%, 401 to 800, and 801 to 1200, it goes even further down. So the messages you send, make it really personal and really short, to the point, as if you're texting your friend. Don't send them a sales pitch about who you are, what you do, it doesn't work. It's a social network. Make sure that it's personal. Very informal, and definitely make it short. So this is great to keep in mind when you send invitations to fill your event. Event setup. As I mentioned before, there are 2 things critical to the success of your LinkedIn event. Anyone, what were the 2 things that are critical for your LinkedIn event? The title, yes, for sure. Ease of sign up, yes, title. What was the second one though? There were 2 things. Follow up, relevant, yes. Definitely plays a role. Address their problem, time and date. Yes, they also play a part for sure. Strong profile, exactly, Lauren. Image, definitely. All of those are good, and it actually shows that you're aware that there's many components to it. You need to set up the event correctly on LinkedIn, promote it, and there are many moving parts. Like one client, he didn't set it up correctly, he didn't follow the instructions, and then he didn't get the email addresses to send people the link. So that was not a good idea. So yes, building your whole LinkedIn lead generation machine out with all the key components, there's more involved. That takes a few months to really build and improve and optimize. But the key thing is the optimized profile and your event title. One time I had a coach and he attended the event just like you here today, and I really loved him from it because he took action. He launched his own event. Now he had 20 people that registered, so he was all excited. 4 people showed up, but not one of them was a prospect, so they actually couldn't buy from him if they wanted. His title was so confusing that while people were interested in the title, he didn't attract the people that he actually wanted to talk to. So he then decided to join my LinkedIn Event Mastery program. So that's the full 12-month membership program. And he's now generating over 250 leads per month on average and booking 6 to 8 sales calls per event. Changing his title and then improving and putting all the other pieces in place make a difference. Now, here's an example of an awesome title: Marketing Love Languages, the secret to endless leads. Now, you know the love languages? It creates a curiosity, like, I've heard of the love languages. What are the marketing love languages? So yes, Gal Azra, he's the CEO of Guaranteed Prosperity. They had over 802 people register, which were 781 new leads. So that besides their existing clients. The sales conversion was great. So they generated over 781 new leads with his first LinkedIn event and closed 43 new clients. Now, how many of you would like to have several similar results? Oh, cool, Monica. That's great. You know, he's fabulous. I love Gal. He's absolutely brilliant businessman. Yeah, agree. So how many of you would like to have similar results? Yes, Bernard. Yes, okay, great. That's good. That's good. Now I have to say, just as a disclaimer, obviously this is a great success story for me to use 781 new leads as his first LinkedIn event. Now keep in mind, Gal Ezra and his dad, Mayor, who's my mentor, are absolutely phenomenal businessmen. So they know about marketing. They've done many webinars. They have a lot of the components in place. So taking it to LinkedIn just allowed them to scale. Most people, when they're starting, when you're new, you may get 20, 30 leads for your first event, which is still great. If you get 2-3 clients every event, it still, makes a big difference. So not everybody gets 43 new clients at their own event. But most people also don't need that many clients to actually make it work their investment. So organic, this feels like a lot. Yeah, there's a lot of strategies to it, Tara. We've promoted it. And as I said, they are already an established company with a big network, a lot of successful students that help to promote. And so there was a lot specifically involved. But the principle is that the system works. You may not get this many from your first event, and you may not want to have 43 new clients at your first event. Most companies wouldn't be able to handle that many. But if you do want to have similar results, I highly recommend apply to work with us so we can help you build out your full LinkedIn event lead generation. And clients will tell you the results have been really phenomenal. So Kara, you can put the link in the chat for us, please. But either way, I'm sure you realize that in order to get the results, you must take action. You must do something more than just come here to the webinar. And it's not easy because I know life gets busy. You don't really know what to do, where to start, right? Now, what we want to do is we want to make sure that this hour we spent together wasn't time wasted. Now, as I mentioned earlier, I was preparing this morning and I was thinking about you and I thought, okay, if I have somebody like Greg or Michaela did, you're here, Bernard, and how can I help you to actually make it easy to take a small action towards getting the results you want? Because I want to ask you something. Do you agree you do much better when you have somebody working with you personally? I know I do. That's why I have a personal trainer. Without my personal trainer, I don't train as hard and I don't make it to the gym as often. And you'll see that every coach, like every Olympic athlete, every top performance, they have a coach. They have a team actually that helps them. And so I'd like to invite you to something that I just developed specifically for today. And I don't know if I'm going to offer it again, but it's the VIP Event Client Power Session. Your investment would be normally $197. This is a 90-minute session. If you're tired of spinning your wheels on LinkedIn and want to launch your own LinkedIn event to generate leads, this is for you. Because the reality is we get better results when someone guides us. And I love working with fast action takers. So instead of paying $197, you can join VIP now for only $47. You get the LinkedIn event kit. So there's a kit that you can join that teaches you how to set up your event. So the components we talked about, like you mentioned, somebody said, well, what is the best day? What's the best time? How do you set it up correctly? How do you determine the best title? You get the kit, so to apply it for yourself. And then we come together in the VIP Power Session so you can get feedback from me, from other amazing business owners. And actually get the results and get it set up. So you have the accountability. You get access as a VIP to the live mastermind coaching session. Plus, as a special bonus, I'll include ChatGPT prompts that I designed for my high-paying, high-end clients to make it simple and fast for you. It will save you hours, just that. Now, if you say, okay, I'm not in a position, okay, just get the event client kit. It's just $9. I made it in a way that it's affordable for everybody, but that you can take action. Because I can only fit so much in the time that we have here. I want you to understand the value, how it works, but actually the step-by-step, the details, the actions, the checklist, that is in the event client kit. So you can actually set up your event. I just came up with it. So we'll have it, we'll send you the kit tomorrow, the latest, in your inbox, but you can join now and also join the VIP. And if you say, okay, that's not really for me, I prefer to take the fast track, I just want the whole system set up, I know that for my business, it's better just to get it done, I need more sales, then apply to work with us. You can book a call. So that's for people who want to take the fast track and then realize that every day your event is not live, it's costing you money because people go somewhere else. It's money not made, which I think is the biggest pain and the biggest loss that you can have. This is different than the masterclass. The masterclass was specifically, and that was a live class on optimizing your profile. This is the LinkedIn event kit. So it's a training that you will receive on how to set up your event on LinkedIn. That's the $9. It's a videos, and then you can upgrade to get for VIP, where you get the prompts, plus you get the live session 90 minutes, but the 90-minute session is just feedback because you already have all the knowledge. Again, I discovered putting everything in one, it's a bit much. So the 90 minutes we have together, the VIP session is really feedback, input, and having other people as well is super valuable because it's like testing what's working in the market. So this is what it looks like. If you click the link, here you can see if you're ready to stop spinning your wheels, the event client kit that turns LinkedIn into a lead generation machine. If you just want the $90, you can definitely do that. And then add the fast launch event prompts. I would highly recommend to choose the VIP event client kit power session for $47 so that you can actually come and we work together and review it. If you run into any obstacles, it's just, I love it if I have somebody that I can just bounce ideas off or get my questions answered. It's one of the things that I missed in the courses I've bought in the past, which is why I wanted to offer that for you. And the event client kit is just $9 with 100% money back guarantee. So if you go through the kit and you're like, okay, I can't do this, you were not able to set up your event, just email us within 7 days and you'll get your money back. But I am confident that if you actually apply this, you join the VIP, there's no way if you actually do it that you cannot make more money when you actually get the leads and you follow up and you close them. Now, next, what's more important? Any questions on that? Sorry. Yes, and those are Imogen, I hope I pronounced your name, will all go in the LinkedIn event kit. I have to keep going so I can complete the training for today. Those all are the questions are all answered in the LinkedIn event kit. How to do that, what to do, send me VIP. Stephen, congratulations, exciting. Send me VIP, please. I'm Mojan, welcome. How many clients do you have? How many people are in the community? Okay, those are the questions I can get at the end. Let me just complete this section. And for the people that have to go, that I can complete what I promised for today. So Dick, real quick, fast track is if you want to work with us and we'll work with you more intensely. The VIP is you get the kit plus a 19-minute live session to ask questions and get feedback. The fast track, we work together to build out your whole LinkedIn event system. I'll show you a little bit more about that as well later, okay? Okay, yes. So what's more important, the quality or the quantity of your LinkedIn event? Invitations, messages, and posts. Now, obviously, you don't want to spam people or post junk. That's true. But in reality, it's the quantity of your promotion, not the quality, that determines your income. Because the question is, what is good quality post, or what's a good quality post or message? It's content that creates engagement, that has the biggest reach. What reach is missing? It creates engagement, has the biggest reach, and generates leads. Because if you have content that people engage with, LinkedIn will show it to more people. So more people will see it, you get more engagement, and more people will see it, people will comment, and then it can generate leads if you combine it, especially with the LinkedIn event strategy. So you have a way to funnel the interest somewhere. If you do it with messaging, it's the same. If you get engagement from people messaging, LinkedIn will show more of your content to them. And it will also help you improve the connection request, the number that you get when people accepting your request, engaging with you, because it shows LinkedIn that you're a real person and people want to engage with you. So quantity is more important than quality. Now here is an example of successful posts. They got a lot of impressions, and as you can see, a lot of engagement, like over 10,000 likes and 499 comments, a lot of reposts. The more people engage with your post, obviously the better. And if you have more quantity, you can see what's working, what not. You can see this one performed very well. This one also did very good. I mean, 1,400 likes and 78 comments, also very good. But you can see what type of messaging gets Okara the best engagement. And then using that also to target. And as I mentioned, combining it with a system to capture the leads, finding out who's interested in what you have to offer. He did that very successfully. The future of NHS care is for the UK. It's a very specific AI tool that he developed for the CQC rating, which is for home care homes and service providers. So having 80 attendees for that specific niche in a very short time was really, really well done. And he actually booked very good sales calls from that, even before the event, because he would just start engaging with people because he knows who's interested. Here are a few other examples of other posts. You can see the number of impressions. And again, once you start posting more, you can see what's working, what's not. This has over 275,000 impressions. So this style of posting works better than this one. Phase number 4. This is where the real fun comes in, the sales conversion. But you need a system to capture the interest, so you own the database. When somebody registers for your event, they're raising their hand and saying, yes, I have a problem and I want to learn about your solution. So the moment they register, as I mentioned with Okara, the moment they register, you already start reaching out and would start making calls because you know this person is interested. You don't have to wait till your event. If they do attend, it makes it easier, but it's not necessary. And when they register, you collect their email address and their contact details, which is great because it allows you now to continue nurturing the relationship with them. And that's why LinkedIn events are so very powerful. It really is the most effective tool that I've discovered to turn LinkedIn connections into sales conversations and generate more leads. If you are doing ads, it will take it to the next level. If you're not doing ads, you don't have to because you don't need ad budget. But I can tell you that my clients get more leads, quality leads, compared to people that I've talked to that are spending $7,000, $8,000, $10,000 in LinkedIn ads every month. The costly mistake. This is something I just want to point out because I see this happening so much. It's a roller coaster. You are active on LinkedIn, but then you get busy and you're not doing anything for a while. Now you start to think maybe LinkedIn isn't working for me. But what's the problem? You're missing a LinkedIn marketing system. It's the system that gives you the consistency that also helps people so you can be in front of them. I've had this amazing client that joined last year and she told me she signed up for an event, I think in March, and then she joined finally in July or August. She just was busy and then she couldn't make it, but she was interested. So she attended a few times and then in last year in December, she bought the 12-month program. So keep in mind the consistency. Having a system makes all the difference. It's just otherwise very challenging to keep it consistent. There's a great quote, 94% of failure is the result of the system, not the people. It's from Edward Deming. He was instrumental in rebuilding the economy in Japan after World War II. And what he does was he helped businesses by teaching them how to fix their system. Systems. And I know what it's like if you don't have the system, Every time you're figuring out, okay, where are leads coming from? Without leads, you can't have sales conversations. You don't have sales meetings for yourself or for your team. Without sales meetings, no sales, no income. And it can be very stressful. And your life, the future of your company depends on leads. And you are here today because you know, at least you suspect, that LinkedIn could be the answer for you. You wouldn't come to an event about LinkedIn leads if you didn't think that your clients, your prospects are on LinkedIn and are looking for a way to get them in front of you. And I'll tell you, it certainly has been a game changer for me. And let me share with you, I just want to share, it's not always easy to share the personal story, but I want you to understand why I'm so passionate to help you. It was a beautiful morning when I was riding Shanti, my horse, in the mountains of Ecuador in South America. And the view's incredible there, the fresh air, wonderful people. I'd moved there 4 months prior to do missionary work. When I got there, I didn't speak a word Spanish. I didn't know anybody, but I really wanted to help, to do something meaningful. Then one Saturday afternoon, I came home from the market. I led Shanti out in the field. And as I walked in the house, I put my bags on the table. I sat down and I just wasn't feeling good. And it was just getting worse and worse. I was feeling so sick. The pain was unbearable. During the night, the fever got worse, the cramps. I'd never been in so much pain in my life. And I was seriously wondering, like, how long is it going to take for my family to find me here out in the middle of nowhere if I die? Fortunately, I'm still here to tell the story. But it was really terrible. And imagine being really sick in a strange country, all alone, thousands of miles away from your family, your friend, lost, alone, afraid. You barely speak the language. You know, you don't really know the medical system, where to go, who to call. Now, the next day, I was lucky. The sister of my landlord happened to come by and she took me to the hospital. And the doctor told me that I had a severe salmonella infection and I needed antibiotics. If not, I could die. So, okay, I went to his private clinic in a little town. It's a very cute town, by the way, in Otavalo in Ecuador. And they gave me this IV for 3 days in your face. It was like terrible, like your whole body is on fire from the inside. It was horrendous. And even after 4 months, I was so weak, I wasn't able to function, let alone work. The antibiotics, literally, I mean, anti means against, biotics, life. So it really knocked the life out of me. At the time, I didn't have a system, I didn't have a team. So you can imagine it was just me, how my business and income were suffering. I used pretty much up all of my savings because I had no money coming in. So when my fiance proposed, I believed that it was God's answer to my prayer. I packed up my life. He told me, come to California. I'll nurture you back to health. So I packed my suitcases. I sold my horse and I flew to the US, excited with the preparations for the wedding. And then a few weeks later, we had lunch at this really nice Mexican restaurant. And out of the blue, Jonathan, he looked at me and said, Shamaya, the wedding is off. Like, wait, what? 2 weeks before the wedding, he broke up with me. I had given up my residency for Ecuador, my horse, my dream, my new friends to be with him in California. And he had convinced me that I didn't have to work for the months leading up to the wedding because he said, no, I'll take care of you. And then he just broke up with me. He dumped me cold, cruel, and I was left with nothing. I was devastated, broke, homeless, living out of my suitcase. It was terrible. I was heartbroken and so angry. Now, I'm not an American citizen, so I couldn't stay in the US. I couldn't go back to Ecuador because I'd given up my residency. And that's when I met a man named Mayor Ezra, who became my mentor and my friend. I was at such a low point in my life. How could he even help me? I'd gone to many seminars, like I spent a small fortune on courses and coaches from Tony Robbins, Harv Eker, Laurel Langmeyer, like you name it, I've been there. And Mayor, he was so wealthy, successful. I was living out of a suitcase at the time, but I had no choice. I had to give it a shot. I knew he had results and I knew I should at least try to learn and apply what he suggested. Now, at the time I wasn't really excited, but maybe there was a little spark of hope left. Maybe something could be done. I applied the business truth that he taught me to develop my LinkedIn event webinar system, as I'd been using LinkedIn before, and what happened next was shocking. It was such a huge success. We've had several times that we maxed out Zoom's maximum upgraded plan. People wanted to join and they couldn't get on. We had over the time, not just for this event, but we had over 39,000 people registered to come through my event. It has changed not only my life, but those of my clients, their families, and the new clients that they now serve. It's really been so exciting to improve the lives of the companies, increase their revenue, help them to scale. And if you are a founder, small business owner, life can be challenging. There were several family situations that took my focus from business, but because I have this system in place, leads continue to come in. I have a great team. Kyra Lee, I think Sasonka is here, you'll meet her, and Tasha. I have a team, but because we have the system, we have new leads coming in and sales can continue to happen. That's what happened to me, and that's what you can create. So if you want to generate more leads, close more sales, which system are you missing? Do you have the system, the knowledge, and the coach to support to make it happen? Like it did for Nurik. I'll go a little bit faster because if you have to hop off, I do understand. Just make sure that you get the link from Kyra in the chat if you do have to hop off early, either to book a call to apply to work with us or just to get the LinkedIn event kit, if nothing else. Nurik went from 1 appointment every 2 weeks to 5 to 20 sales calls booked per week. So I'll let him tell you himself the story.
I started working with Shemaya. We really had maybe like 1 appointment every 2 weeks, and then we were desperate, and I tried to sell as much as possible that appointment. And if you lose it, then you're always constantly looking for leads, not certain about what to do. Don't have really a budget to grow because I have to rely on sometimes luck. But then once I joined Shemaya's first webinar, it was like 200 people attending, and that's when it was closed, and I bought her program the same day. So, and then ever since, we've been hosting webinars, and right now, we actually, our company grew by like 30%. We got 3 more team members, and, we have a whole strategy. Like I take care of marketing with these webinars, and we book about 5 to 20 appointments a week now.
It's really been a huge game changer for him. Just imagine it's him, his wife, and they have a little boy who was 3 at the time. 1 appointment every 2 weeks, you can't survive. It was not viable. Now it's been a totally game changer for him.
I started
applying the system that I just shared with you. So building the foundation, phase 1, having the right targeting, phase 2, phase 3, the event setup and invitations, and then phase 4, the sales conversion, booking calls, and actually getting new clients. That is the LinkedIn event webinar system. And here you can see the steps. I just want to go through the case study so you can see what we did. Here is optimizing the profile. We hire, onboard, and train elite virtual assistants. Very clear what he does, how he helps. The only virtual assistant headhunter you need. So if you're looking to expand your team, if you want to have remote workers, he's a great resource. He's absolutely incredible. He has people from Kazakhstan, which is great because it's a different level of people in India or Philippines, which I also love. And I love my team here in South Africa. Kazakhstan is also very good. So he basically went from 2,500 net profit to 18,000 per month. Here you can see the targeting, what we did. We focused on business development, business coaches, because those are the people easiest that need support. And then he had his event title, How to Reclaim Freedom, Time and Profits with Remote Assistance in 2025. This is an email this is a message that he sent recently. Just did a webinar, 200 attendees and $2,100 plus made right off the bat. With 17 of them is a monthly subscription of $400. So the 1,700 is monthly. Now, suppose he keeps them for 10, 12 months, that's easily $17,000 to $20,000 in monthly recurring revenue coming in. And here you can see he went from before he met me, he was generating about 2,500 per month in net profit, 2 to 4 sales calls per month. It was just him and an assistant. The situation was stressed, to say it nicely, because he was just basing on referrals and cold outreach, and it wasn't working for him. So he spent a small fortune on buying courses and programs and trying to figure out how to get leads. After 12 months, so this was a little bit later than after the video, He was generating $18,000 per month net profit, was booking 60 plus sales calls per month, and he expanded his company. Now there were 9 people, and including a business partner investor who wanted to be part of what he was doing just because of the sales of the LinkedIn webinar system. Now this was after 12 months. In the meantime, it's few more months have passed, and he continues to grow and expand. And that is what other clients saying as well. I just want to share with you, Bridget.
I'm getting and the consistency with bookings on my calendar, nothing else has done anywhere near what I'm getting with this. It's the best marketing tool ever.
And that's great to hear, because also Bridget was somebody, she's brilliant with PowerPoint presentations. She's a PowerPoint strategist. She's been in business for years, and she also spent a lot of money and time finding a method to help her grow. And for her to say this is the best thing I've done says a lot. I will just skip this one. You kind of get the picture. I just want to make sure you had it fresh. Like, how does it work? What are the key phases? So if you want to build a profitable LinkedIn event system, apply to work with us. These are the 2 options. So number 1 is you get the full training with the support, the step-by-step success formula, which is all the different phases and in detail, right? Access to the amazing community, office hours for strategy and implementation support. So we have weekly support calls with me once a week for the strategy, and then once a week is with Kyra if you need any help with the tech, with setting up parts of the machine, because different components will be automated and set up in your system, optimization guidance. So you can come, and I've had clients that, okay, we're looking at the numbers. So there's different components to it. Number 1 is setting up your event, getting people to register. But once they register, you want to make sure that they show up. And then if they show up, you want to make sure that you book. And if they book, obviously you want to make sure they convert. So there's all these different components to it. So every month we're looking at, okay, how are the numbers? How are the statistics? Which aspect need to be improved? The investment here starts at $7,500, and this is for the 12-month program. So this is the full system. Option 2 is the webinar event system designed and built for you. So we'll design it together, and then we build it, we set up the event for you. This especially is great for busy founders and owners. You have the complete lead gen system in place, from LinkedIn profile, event strategy, design and setup, and more. It's executed and implemented for you. So in number 1, we'll teach you how to build your LinkedIn lead generation machine. In option 2, you give us the design, because obviously you know your clients, the messaging, everything. We built the machine for you, and then we hand you the keys so you continue to run it and build it. Most people get a virtual assistant who runs everything behind the scenes for them. And your investment starts from $15,000, which, it's a lot of money for some people. And at the same time, if you don't do it, how much money are you missing? How much money income are you missing? Because if you look at this, for example, with Matthew, 1 sales plus 99 leads to close later, $12,000 in initial sales from his first event.
I sent out, I think 1,000 connections. We had about 100 actually register, and we got 1 sale out of it. Since I'm selling a very high ticket, 5-figure B2B system, it's between $10,000 and $12,000. Just getting that 1 client from the process was really like a big win. And I also have about 99 other people to follow up with that now know about the product.
Yes, for how many of you would say, well, it would definitely make a difference in my business if I would generate 12,000 in additional sales, or just having this many of leads? Anyone? Greg? Dick? I see you. Bernard? I'm sure you would. Yes, Dick said yes. What else? I see Reggie, I see Stephen. I don't see everybody on my first screen, but I do appreciate your screen open because I can move around. Yes, says Francine. Monica, yes. And again, it fluctuates, right? I want you to understand that some companies already have a lot of the components in place, like Gal Azra, like Matthew. They have the high end, they know how to close, so they can scale quickly. If you're not there, even every client has new leads, has new clients that they're booking from the beginning. It just depends on how quickly you are able to convert the leads. But even somebody like Nurek, because he started out, he grew. It took him a few months to get his system up and running, but once he had his system up and running, he was growing consistently and fast. So the question is, if you want to go from LA to New York, are you going to go with the horse and buggy? Which you can, you'll get there eventually. It may be a little bit sweaty, not the most comfortable ride, but you'll get there. Which is like, okay, start with the event kit, at least do that. Do that, you know, you can watch some YouTube videos, you can figure it out, you will get there. It's not the most comfortable, but you can, it is doable. People have done it and are doing it. Or you can say, you know what, I prefer to take the fast track. You can join me in my private jet. We'll get there much faster, it's much more comfortable, and I promise you it will be much more fun. So if you want the private jet, definitely either join the LinkedIn event kit, but just do the VIP for the $47. It's just, the difference is like night and day. It's people that join the groups, get the input, get the support, the feedback to get actually things done. But if you can, if you're just the kind of person you do it on your own, just get the $9. Totally okay with me too, but just get the prompts as well, it will help you. This is what I mentioned. If you're tired of spinning your wheels on LinkedIn, if you want to launch your own LinkedIn event to generate lead, this is for you. We get better results when somebody guides us. And I love working with fast action takers. So instead of paying $197, you can join VIP now for only $47. I have never offered this before. I don't know if I'm going to offer this again. It really was because I was so excited. It's the first event of the new year to help people like boost their growth. It will make a big difference. And as a VIP, I mentioned you get access to the live mastermind coaching session. Plus, as a special bonus, I'll include the ChatGPT prompts that I designed for my high-paying clients to make it simple and fast for you. And obviously, if you have Gemini or use another AI, it works the same. But the prompts are really good. It will save you hours in crafting and figuring it out on your own. So either way, start by getting the event client kit for just $9 today. You can do the VIP, so we have the live interaction. Make sure you do that. You will make the money back when you apply. That's the key thing. And if you want to take the fast track, realize that your time is valuable and realize that every day you delay, it's costing you more money. Apply to work with us and we'll see if you're a good fit. And so if you go to the page, you fill in your information, and then here you can click the add the fast launch event prompts and add live VIP event client kit, the power session. That's what I would recommend as a minimum. If you can join the full program for the 12 months, obviously that's the best. I would love to do that, but if nothing else, start here. Take action, even though it's small. Get your first event under your belt, start generating leads, start making money, and then you can always upgrade to the year program. Yeah, I'm gonna skip this one. So you have to decide really, you want to get started now. Join today, work together, take advantage of the knowledge I provide instead of figuring it out yourself. Work together to start planting seeds so you can begin harvesting next month and every month ever after. Or number 2, keep spinning your wheels, trying to figure everything out on your own, wasting time, taking much longer to eventually see results. I know personally, I work much better if I have somebody that can say, okay, do this, and it works. It just saves time, money, and a lot of frustration. So you don't want to end up as this little moment. I thought it was a cute picture. And you can see it works. Depending on who you are, where you are with your company, the level of success depends, but every single person, if they apply correctly, they will see results.
As a result, we had about 50 calls booked within about 2 months.
Oh, sorry.
And one of which became a very massive potential strategic partner that we're in early talks on. And it's going very, very well, which would roll us out to probably a good percentage of the largest property management company in the United States, which has been a huge deal for us.
This was Sean, a great client to work with. And you have to ask yourself the questions. If not this, then what? If not me, then who? If not now, then when? Now is the best time to take action. LinkedIn right now, it's a gold mine. More and more people are actually making good money using LinkedIn, the LinkedIn event. And obviously there's other tools, hacks and strategies we use to fill the event, because obviously people can come, you can promote it different ways. But LinkedIn is really where the good quality, if you're doing B2B, is where people are. This is another quick example, and then I'm going into a quick Q&A. Jonathan Flack's resume writing and LinkedIn profiles. He doubled his income in about 5 months, and he's on track to double it again. Where at the time when he met me, he wasn't sure if he could continue. He was about to lose his business because his lead source had dried up, and he didn't know what to do. He was really struggling, and this LinkedIn event system has been truly a game changer for him. So he's now expanding. He does leadership coaching. He's now doing different titles, different types of events for different targeting. He's doing exceptionally well. He's one of the people that actually, executes and build it fast. So he got really, really good results. This is one of his events, the hidden job market, how to find your next leadership role.
Typically, I get
a little bit faster. I mean, he had 52 registrations, 28 attendees, 10 sales calls booked, 1 new client at $1,000, so there's the resume writing, then 4 new clients at $3,400. So total from one event was $14,600, and he's now doing events every 2 weeks, if I'm not mistaken.